In the vast expanse of outer space, two spacecraft engage in a heated laser battle. Suddenly, one of the ships initiates a wormhole, vanishing just in the nick of time to evade its relentless foe. This enigmatic vessel hurtles toward Earth, inadvertently colliding with a satellite along the way. Damaged and desperate, an extraterrestrial occupant belonging to a formidable race known as the Predators escapes in an emergency pod as the ship plummets toward the planet's surface. Meanwhile, deep within the depths of a Mexican jungle, the skilled sniper Quinn McKenna embarks on a mission to capture members of a dangerous cartel. Just as he takes his first shot, the Predator spacecraft careens from the sky, sending Quinn tumbling through the wilderness. Regaining consciousness moments later, he stumbles upon the crash site and discovers remnants of the Predator's advanced armor. Suddenly, Quinn is jolted by the arrival of his teammate Dupree, who lends him a bag to transport the recovered armor. As Quinn tries on the arm brace, a rustling in the nearby trees draws their attention, revealing the gruesome sight of another team member suspended upside down from a branch. The Predator materializes, eluding their gunfire with uncanny speed and cloaking abilities. In a deadly exchange, the Predator dispatches Dupree with lethal precision. At a critical moment, as Quinn gets closer, the arm brace kicks into action, firing a powerful shot that stops the alien enemy and splits the hanging teammate in two. The splatter of blood makes the Predator visible again. Quinn quickly collects his things and makes a quick exit, leaving the intense encounter behind. As Quinn departs, the arm brace releases a small sphere, which he catches. Shortly afterward, a specialized team led by Traeger arrives to secure the Predator and salvageable items from the crash site. Traeger's familiarity with this alien race is evident from his instructions. The next morning, Quinn arrives in a nearby town and clears a bar by displaying his firearm. He then pays the bartender to send his bag to his son's house. Keeping the small sphere, Quinn later discovers that it grants invisibility when ingested. He swallows it with a drink. Meanwhile, Quinn's son, Rory, is in a classroom observing some boys playing chess. Rory, who has autism, often finds himself ignored or ridiculed by his peers. In the hallway, two older boys trigger the fire alarm, causing panic among the students. Rory experiences sensory overload and retreats in fear. The two boys enter the classroom, topple the chess pieces, and taunt Rory before leaving. Once the fire alarm ceases, Rory meticulously restores the chess pieces to their original positions, thanks to his remarkable memory. Back at home, the mailman delivers the box sent by Quinn. In a park, three government agents approach Dr. Casey, insisting she accompany them without explaining until they're in the car. They show her images of the crashed escape pod and the Predator, revealing that Earth has been visited by these beings on multiple occasions, with the frequency of visits increasing. In the evening, Rory's mother, Emily, brings masks for him to go trick-or-treating, but he refuses due to his fear that the troublesome boys will recognize him. Later on, Rory heads to the basement and eagerly unboxes the package, revealing the Predator's equipment, which immediately captivates him. As he examines the arm brace, it unexpectedly springs to life, and Rory begins using it like a computer. Meanwhile, Quinn finds himself apprehended and subjected to a psychological evaluation under the watchful eye of Traeger. Quinn senses their desire to keep everything secret. Subsequently, he's placed on a bus with other inmates who exhibit rather bizarre behavior. They taunt him relentlessly and dismiss his claims of being silenced because he witnessed an alien encounter. As the bus departs, Casey arrives and meets Traeger and his team of scientists. She's taken aback to discover an array of alien artifacts, and most notably, a sedated Predator. Traeger explains they've dubbed this extraterrestrial race Predators due to their hunting tendencies. Recent analysis even suggests traces of human DNA on the sleeping Predator's body, raising questions about potential interspecies interactions. Casey delves into the files and insists on speaking with Quinn. Just then, the bus receives an urgent message that prompts it to turn back. Simultaneously, the second spacecraft from the earlier chase opens a wormhole and enters Earth's airspace, carrying two alien hounds and a Predator that's now homing in on Rory's brace signal. The military detects the alien craft's presence and deploys 2 fighter jets in pursuit. However, they struggle to match the advanced alien technology. Suddenly, within the facility, the predator awakens. Despite the scientists' efforts to restrain it, the creature's immense strength allows it to break free swiftly, embarking on a merciless killing spree. Amidst the chaos, Casey seizes a tranquilizer gun from a fallen guard and secures an alien sample before making a hasty escape. The security system demands decontamination before allowing access to the exit, forcing Casey into a quick shower. Simultaneously, the predator realizes its armor is missing key components, the helmet and arm brace, prompting it to depart. It encounters Casey in the showers but perceives her as non-threatening, given her role in opening the door. Ignoring her, the predator proceeds to the corridor, where it acquires a helmet that had been confiscated from other aliens. By activating it, the creature gains the ability to trace its missing gear and locate Rory. Meanwhile, a scientist urges Casey not to allow the alien to escape, while the facility's alarm resonates throughout the complex as the predator eliminates any soldiers attempting to impede its departure. The bus carrying Quinn and the other prisoners grinds to a halt, and the soldiers on board witness the predator racing along the rooftop, finally confirming Quinn's claims. They devise a plan for their escape, initiating a skirmish to lure the guards inside. Working together, they overpower the guards, confiscate their weapons, and remove them from the bus. Both Casey and the bus go in pursuit of the predator, who spots the second spaceship flying alongside 2 fighter jets and sets its sights on them. Casey leaps off the roof, landing on top of the bus in an attempt to take a shot at the alien. However, an unfortunate mishap occurs as she accidentally shoots her foot. Quinn then attempts to open fire, but the predator swiftly disables a tire, bringing the bus to a halt. While the group searches for an alternative mode of transportation, the 2 fighter jets persist in their efforts to shoot down the alien spacecraft. Suddenly, the spacecraft vanishes from view and effortlessly dispatches both jets within seconds. Casey narrowly avoids a close encounter with guards who almost capture her, but the group manages to locate bicycles and intervenes just in time to save her. Together, they make their daring escape. Meanwhile, the predator covertly infiltrates the rear of a truck, dispatching the soldiers inside as the vehicle departs from the facility, vanishing into the distance. Not far from their location, the other alien ship finally touches down and deploys its hounds to track down its adversary. Meanwhile, the soldiers have taken refuge in a motel room, patiently awaiting Casey's awakening. When she regains consciousness, she initially feels threatened and grabs a shotgun. However, Quinn intervenes swiftly, assuring her that they are on her side and explaining that it was Traeger's men who attempted to harm her due to the stolen sample. Casey agrees to collaborate with them, providing valuable information. This prompts Quinn to realize that the predator is on a mission to retrieve its gear and is targeting Rory. Meanwhile, Rory stumbles upon the helmet and tries it on, gaining access to a recording that reveals how the predators enhance themselves by incorporating the DNA of various species, clarifying the presence of human DNA in the facility. Pleased with the outcome, Rory decides to go trick-or-treating, donning the helmet and arm brace as his costume. By the time the soldiers arrive at Rory's house, he has already ventured out. Quinn explains everything to Emily, who loans him a weapon so he can embark on a mission to rescue their son. Initially, some of the other soldiers are reluctant to put themselves in harm's way again. However, after hearing Emily vouch for Quinn's exceptional skills, they gradually decide to join the mission one by one. Recognizing Quinn's expertise, they form pairs to cover more ground and agree to assist in the pursuit. Meanwhile, Rory continues his Halloween escapade, but is unfortunately spotted by the mischievous duo who waste no time taunting him. Attempting to ignore their jeers, Rory knocks on a house door, receiving no response. However, the homeowner eventually appears on the balcony, also subjecting Rory to ridicule and tossing something his way. This unintentionally triggers the helmet, unleashing a powerful blast that inadvertently kills the man, demolishes his house, and sends the other children fleeing in terror. The explosion catches the attention of Quinn and Casey, who immediately drive toward the source of the commotion. Trembling with fear, Rory drops the helmet and seeks refuge in a nearby baseball field. There, he encounters a friendly dog and quickly forms a bond with it. Just as the alien hounds approach, poised to attack, Quinn arrives and uses the car to fend them off. Before long, the remainder of the team arrives, and as Casey guides Rory to safety, the group opens fire on the approaching threat. Quinn finds himself pursued by one of the hounds, but manages to outmaneuver it, eventually dispatching the creature by strategically firing a series of grenades into its maw. The other hound is met with a similar fate, succumbing to a barrage of gunfire. With a momentary lull in the action, Casey seizes the opportunity to collect some samples. However, her task is abruptly interrupted by the sudden arrival of a predator. The menacing extraterrestrial seizes Nettles and employs him as a bargaining chip, threatening to end his life unless the group surrenders their weapons. The team complies with the demand, laying down their arms. But without hesitation, Quinn quickly retrieves his weapon and fires at the predator, compelling it to release Nettles from its grip. Subsequently, the group hastily seeks refuge within Rory's school, narrowly escaping as the alien detonates the front door. Understanding the predator's objectives, Quinn retrieves the mini-computer from Rory's brace. However, their intentions are thwarted as the predator locates them and seizes Quinn by the neck, prompting him to surrender the device. In a surprising turn of events, the predator abruptly releases Quinn and is dragged through a shattered window by another of its kind. The two aliens engage in a ferocious duel, with the larger predator emerging victorious by crushing the smaller one into a car and gruesomely extracting its skull and spine. With the police drawing near, the victorious predator briefly examines the humans' identities on the device before vanishing into invisibility to make its escape. Later, Quinn calls Emily to check on her, but government agents are monitoring her. In a desperate bid to protect her husband, Emily destroys her phone to prevent the agents from tracing him. Meanwhile, Traeger and his team locate the body of the fallen predator. Traeger deduces that the larger predator was hunting the deceased one for an item it had stolen. Recognizing the significance of this item, Traeger becomes determined to obtain it, understanding that to find the predator's ship, he must locate Rory. Back with our group, they are now concealed in a barn. Casey examines the samples and confirms that the predators are enhancing themselves through genetic upgrades. Suddenly, they hear noises and discover that the other hound has survived the grenades and has tracked them to their location. Nettles intervenes, preventing them from harming the hound since it appears to be behaving like a domestic dog, and they believe it might have some utility. Casey attempts to communicate with the creature, but just as they are making progress, Traeger arrives in a helicopter. To divert the hound's attention, Casey tosses an object for it to chase, allowing the group to hide. The rest of the team conceals themselves while Traeger interrogates Quinn and Casey about the whereabouts of the arm brace. When they refuse to answer, the agents resort to violence, striking Quinn while Traeger presses Casey for information. Traeger explains that the predators are aware of humanity's role in harming the planet and anticipate our imminent extinction. As a result, they're collecting the best DNA before our species faces extinction. At Emily's residence, agents are scouring for alien equipment when the predator abruptly barges in. Emily hides while the alien swiftly eliminates all the agents. It then examines Rory's desk, uncovering a map revealing the ship's location. Simultaneously, Rory is sketching the same map, and the agent monitoring him discerns the connection, promptly notifying Traeger. Traeger swiftly dispatches a helicopter to extract Rory, leaving behind a few men to deal with the duo. Quinn employs his formidable combat skills to defeat two of the agents, and just as the third is about to overpower Casey, the hound reappears and regurgitates a grenade. Casey seizes the opportunity, using the distraction to strike the agent with a chair before leaping away before the grenade detonates. As Quinn makes his way out, he encounters Nebraska, who is finishing off the last of the guards. The two reunite with Casey, and as they ponder their escape, the rest of their team arrives in a helicopter, with the hound following them from the ground. Together, they make their way to the location of the other ship. Traeger compels Rory to unlock the ship's entrance, and they venture inside, where Traeger instructs his men to confiscate everything. Suddenly, one of the agents is shoved aside, revealing that Quinn has been tailing them by employing the cloaking device from the ball. Quinn dispatches or incapacitates all the guards, capturing Traeger and leading him outside, where the rest of the group subdues a few agents, securing the perimeter. In a tense moment, one of Quinn's allies is attacked by the predator, but manages to shoot a flare before succumbing to the assault. The distraction enables Traeger to strike Quinn and make his escape, igniting a gunfight between Quinn's team and Traeger's men. Quinn takes refuge with Rory, entrusting him with the cloaking device. The Predator leaps into action, dispatching most of Traeger's men, causing a nearby jeep to veer and explode. The creature then enters the ship and transmits a distressing message over the speakers, causing intense pain in everyone's ears before commencing a translation. The alien explains its mission to destroy the ship and denies anyone else access to it. Furthermore, it demands McKenna as its prize, recognizing him as the group's most skilled warrior. The Predator concludes by setting a timer to destroy the ship. Quinn and Traeger reluctantly agree to temporarily put their differences aside and work together. Traeger attempts to pilfer some alien items before departing, but the Hound intervenes, thwarting his efforts. Both teams retreat into the forest as the Predator exits the ship just moments before it detonates in a fiery explosion. Moments later, an eerie sound pierces the air, and suddenly, a Predator weapon hurtles in, severing an agent's arm. Traeger, deeming the wounded agent expendable, shoots him, and the Predator promptly snatches the lifeless body to sate its hunger. Both teams begin to retreat as they open fire, while two of Quinn's friends opt to act as bait. The peculiar noise lures the Predator, which pounces into the fray, mercilessly eliminating humans as they fire futilely at it. Traeger endeavors to wield the Predator's weapon against it, but inadvertently ends up decapitating himself. Eventually, the Predator becomes engulfed in flames, though it appears largely unfazed. It inflicts severe harm on the two friends before they manage to push it down a hill. Their injuries are too grave to endure, prompting them to take their own lives to escape the agony. Shortly after, the Predator returns, forcibly separating Casey and Quinn from Rory, who's the true McKenna the alien has sought all along due to his place in the evolutionary lineage. As the alien whisks Rory away aboard its ship, the boy inadvertently drops the small sphere. Quinn, Nebraska, and Nettles clamber atop the spacecraft as it lifts off, pushing Casey away before she can join them. Inside the ship, Rory witnesses the Predator activating a force field and urgently alerts his father through their communication devices, allowing Quinn to evade the danger swiftly. Nebraska couldn't make it inside the ship, and Nettles suffered a terrible fate, losing his legs and falling to his death. Nebraska decided to sacrifice himself by destroying the ship's turbine, causing it to plummet. Quinn, taking advantage of the force field's protection, managed to sneak inside. He tried to shoot the Predator but couldn't do much before the ship started shaking, causing him to fall. Thankfully, he survived because his leg got stuck in some ropes. The spacecraft eventually crashed, and the Predator emerged to battle Quinn. Unfortunately, Quinn wasn't strong enough to defeat the formidable alien. Just as the Predator was about to finish him off, Casey, using the cloaking device, revealed herself and shot the Predator in the head from behind. Afterward, Quinn pushed the alien over the edge, where it lost an arm when Rory activated the force field. Casey caught the severed arm and tossed it to Quinn, who used it to knock down the Predator and finally put an end to it with a few shots to the head. Following the intense battle, Quinn gathered some items from his fallen comrades. He and Rory took a moment to remember their fallen friends. Sometime later, Quinn visited a new government facility. They were gearing up to defend against future alien threats, thanks to Rory's knowledge. The mysterious item that the Predator had stolen and was relentlessly pursued for is finally discovered. It turns out to be a potent suit of armor known as the Predator Killer. Rory reveals that the armor was intended to be brought to Earth so that humans could defend themselves against the Predators. The armor momentarily envelops a scientist, appearing ready to unleash its firepower, but it soon deactivates, returning to its dormant state. Quinn then proclaims that this remarkable suit will now be his own.